purpose of this is to see that we pumped quite a bit of oil in here now, actually. And except for what we lost in the first place, you know, the oil is staying inside the funnel. That's the whole purpose of this. And the idea that the oil will push itself up is actually irrelevant, because what it needs to do, you know, we can pump it up. But the whole idea is there's not a lot of water in this oil. That's important. There's not a lot of oil in this water. That's important. Therefore, you know, the whole idea that you can use the water as its own pipe, as its own conduit to bring the oil to the surface, if you take the, you know, if you empty the pipe in the first place, is very credible. Or in other words, all you need down there is a darn funnel and a pipe to the surface, and you can collect all the oil coming off of that wellhead without even a pump, because it's down there at 7,000 psi, and it's going to come to the surface. You open it up, it will shoot out like a gusher. This is the difference in gravity, or in density, between the water and the oil. That's what gives it the pressure to come up and that was a quart of oil. Like I say, what's important about the whole process is that there ain't a lot of oil in that water. There wouldn't be any in there if we had had the thing aligned correctly to start with. There ain't a lot of water in that oil either, which is very important too. Lost our little prime. You can see, or I can see, the oil collecting in the funnel in there. And if we go just a little bit over the line, we'll end up with, you know, oil in the water instead of oil in the jug. You can see that I'm down to about a ½ inch below the surface of the funnel in there, and I don't want to get any more oil in there than we have already. But it continues to run, and it will continue to run as long as there's oil in the funnel. But like I say, this is without a pump. You put a pump in there, but you still have to regulate it, because if you pump too much, then you're going to get water too, and then that will be a water and oil mix as opposed to just all oil. The idea is that the oil is free in the water. It rises of its own accord into the funnel and collects there, because that's where we've directed it to go. And then once we've taken the water off the top of the hose, the oil fills it, and being less dense, it just runs on its own. You can see the oil. Now what we're looking here is that we are full of water in the bottom, and it will separate over time. Unfortunately, the glass up here is the oil level. This much is oil and that much is water. And we did that on the oil. Here. So anyway, that would of course prove that you don't need me on there. That would just prove that if you wait a little bit with water in a tank, you can separate the oil and water very, very quickly. It will separate itself. All you have to do is wait. All you have to do is, make it possible to take off the top, which is what the next experiment is about. I have another one. Let's see if we can make that one work. If you have time, you have a little